May I invite Dr. David Walker, Pro-Vice Chancellor for Education and Students, to present Philippa Aldrich.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, graduands and graduates, families and friends, it is my honour to introduce Philippa Aldrich. When the university considers awarding honorary degrees, it seeks individuals who have not only pushed the boundaries of their field for the benefits of society, but who also reflect the values that are important to us at the University of Brighton: equity, creativity, sustainability, partnership and courage. Today, we seek to honour such an individual. Philippa Aldrich is a lawyer and cultural advocate who is widely known for her support for emerging artists and the creative communities she works with. She founded the Future Perfect Company, which started as an online shop for sourcing and commissioning inclusive design products, before going on to launch the long-running Designing for the Future competition in partnership with the University of Brighton back in 2009. The project featured hundreds of UK design students and supported many graduates and start-up creative businesses through the DFF network. Over its 9-year run, the competition challenged 3D design students at Brighton to use inclusive design to respond creatively to the needs of the UK's contemporary society, prioritising sustainability and inclusivity. And Philippa continues to mentor former student participants, many of whom have gone on to successful creative careers. One such success is local entrepreneur Tom Meads, who emerged runner-up in the 2016 edition of the competition and now runs the award-winning Gomi Design, a thriving sustainable design studio in Brighton, which produces a range of consumer tech purely from waste products. In 2012, Philippa became a trustee of the Michael Aldrich Foundation, named for her father, Michael Aldrich, the founding chairman of the University of Brighton. As chair and CEO of the foundation, Philippa has led several wide-ranging arts programmes for children, young adults and older people. Over the lockdown period, her Image of the Week project shared artworks from the Aldrich collection with local communities. Despite the uncertainty and the pressures of that time for schools and organisations during this period, the project ran from March to July 2020 and leveraged online and other digital tools to allow participants to engage their creative interests. The project was a huge success, and in August 2020, Philippa and her team presented it at the International Festival of Learning. Before deciding to pursue her passion for art, design and social impact, Philippa practiced as a solicitor in London for 2 decades, specialising in commercial real estate. Recognised as a leader in her field within the legal profession, she headed up a team which managed some of the most valuable commercial property transactions in the London market. Most recently, she collaborated with artist, activist and University of Brighton alumna Alison Lapper to deliver the Drug of Art project. Over a 2-year period, Philippa worked with her network of artists to deliver workshops to nearly 400 young people to support well-being through creativity in schools and community spaces. Inclusivity is a cause that Philippa holds dear. She was a founding member of the Eastbourne Design for All initiative and a contributor to the Brighton and Hove ABCD Cultural Recovery Plan, which was developed with the understanding that creative business and workers would be at the forefront of the city's recovery post the pandemic. The plan focused on creating a more inclusive, collaborative and sustainable creative economy in Brighton. Alongside her substantial professional and charitable contributions, Philippa continues her connection with the university through her role as a visiting lecturer and an associate member of the Centre for Arts and Wellbeing. A graduate of the University of Oxford and a Fellow of the Royal Society of Arts, Philippa brings a wealth of expertise and a deep commitment to the arts and inclusivity in everything that she does. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, graduands and graduates, families and friends, in recognition of her outstanding support for artists, makers and creativity across Sussex, it is our honour to present Philippa Aldrich for the honorary degree of Doctor of Arts of the University of Brighton.
Philippa Aldrich, in recognition of your contribution to supporting artists, makers and creativity across Sussex, I confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Arts of the University of Brighton. I now have the pleasure of inviting Philippa to address the audience.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Governors, distinguished guests, graduates and friends, thank you. What a good day this is. Congratulations to all of you on what is a huge achievement. There are not many moments in life where you can be so sure you have succeeded, you have made it, but this is one of those days. So what's next for you all? I imagine for some of you the path is clear, jobs have been secured, futures decided. Some of you may have no idea at all at this point, but either way, this is a moment of choice. When I graduated back in 1986, I was definitely in the first camp. I had wanted to be a solicitor since I was a child, and I diligently followed that path, qualifying in 1990 and heading into the City of London to specialise in commercial property law. And I was there for some 20 years until the financial crash of 2008. Which was seismic for many people, and for me it meant that the commercial property market, which had been my world for so long, just came to a full stop. So for the first time in my career, I had a choice to make. Continue in the law, secure but increasingly unsatisfying and absolutely exhausting with long days and a longer commute, or do something else. Having been a professional advisor for so many years, I really wanted to start my own company. Influenced by the experiences of the people around me, I had an idea around the ability of good inclusive design to empower people, especially as they were getting older, and so the Future Perfect Company was born. At the same time, Anne Boddington, who was then Dean of the Faculty of Arts, invited me to speak to the students at Brighton. I love Grand Parade, and for someone whose life has been legal rules and regulations, it's always felt magical to me. Somewhere where anything was possible. So I met up with brilliant tutors and students from 3D design and craft, and from there the Designing for the Future competition began. And over some 10 years, the competition expanded to other courses, including product design at Walscombe and fashion, as well as to other institutions. I was really ambitious for this project. I didn't want to just be there to hand over a prize. I'd seen from training young lawyers in my legal career that with the right support, encouragement and opportunities, people would flourish. So I tried to make the experience as rich as possible, bringing in industry experts to share real-life knowledge and act as a sounding board. And I gave the students the opportunity to build confidence by presenting and showcasing their work at conferences, expos, and even the House of Lords. And over the years, I built a network of students who had taken part in the competition and whom I then kept in touch with, particularly as they left university and started their creative careers. My support varied from the odd coffee and catch-up to presenting a product to the judging panel of a prestigious design award when the student Chloe Minock was off pursuing another opportunity in Japan. Fortunately, she now has her own design team to do that sort of thing for her. When I became a trustee of the Michael Aldrich Foundation, I continued to work with many of the competition students and others I'd met along the way. We ran community arts projects, including our lockdown project, Image of the Week, which shared images from Brighton's Aldrich art collection with primary school children and older people in care homes and the community. Most recently, we worked on the Alison Lapper's Drug of Art project, where we delivered workshops to 400 children in schools and community halls. This was our most sophisticated project to date. I wanted to make sure that our creatives both got paid, really, really important, but also had the chance to develop workshops which they could then use as a means of supporting themselves. We agreed on a set of values about how we would work together, including the brilliant joy of not knowing philosophy of my fellow trustee, Dr. Marcelo Starikoff. And we put in place an EDI reference committee to keep track of what we were doing. So I've had two very different careers. 21-year-old me intent on a legal career would be astonished to discover where I ended up. So as you contemplate your next steps, I would say to you, having a plan is really good, but give yourself permission to change your mind. We're living in a fast-paced, challenging world. Hold your nerve. Whatever you decide to do, give yourself the best chance of succeeding. Find your community. You will need friends and supporters. The beginnings of your network, and indeed mine, thank you, are here today. Take the opportunity to show up for your network when you can too. And finally, find your joy. Before the pandemic, we spent a week with a local primary school bringing art and artists to the children. The day I walked into a school hall to see the children's installation created by Brighton graduate Jack Durling was one of the most extraordinary and uplifting moments of my life. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Governors, distinguished guests, graduates and friends, thank you so much for this honour.